A little boy dreamt of becoming rich one day and building his own real estate empire. When he grew older, he faced the sad reality of life: 30% down payment on a rental property. That crushed his dreams, and he lived sadly ever after, the life of an ordinary man. If only the boy had watched a YouTube video showing him how to buy a rental property with zero down payment. Lucky for you, you did click on this video. Whether you are planning to get rich or planning for a happy retirement, let me show you how to buy a rental property with absolutely no money or zero down payment. Hello everyone, I am Ajinkya Patil and today I am going to share how you can buy a rental property with absolutely zero down payment. In my last video, I talked about buying real estate with just $100, and that is with REITs. REITs are companies that own and operate real estate, and by buying their shares for as little as $100, you can start investing in real estate. However, there is a big advantage of real estate investing that REITs don't offer. A good REIT offers two benefits of real estate investing: cash flows from rental income and appreciation. You get cash flows in terms of dividends from REITs and appreciation if the share prices go up with time. What REITs don't offer, however, is leverage. Leverage is the most important ingredient in the recipe of becoming rich with real estate. Leverage is actually what makes real estate investing sort of unique in building wealth very fast. Let me explain. Let's say you have 40,000 to invest and you do some very good investments in the stock market and earn a 10% return every year. You will become rich, but not fast. It will take you 34 years to become a millionaire, that too if you pay no taxes at all. Now let's consider real estate. You probably cannot buy any house with 40,000 unless of course you might want to buy some piece of crap, or you had an Italian grandmother and you can claim one of those abandoned legacy houses in Italy just for €1. Alright, on a serious note, what you do is you pay 40,000 down, or let's say 10% of a house that is worth 400,000, and take a mortgage and let the bank pay the rest for you. If the house price goes up by 10% and becomes 440,000, your initial investment of 40,000 increases by, let me do the math, another 40,000 or 100%. All you have to do is repeat this 5 times. That is, compounding that 100% return 5 times and you become a millionaire. That is probably just in 10 years. The reason the path to building wealth is so much faster with real estate is because of leverage. Well, it sounds all too nice, right? Well, there is one catch, that is the down payment roadblock. To be able to enjoy from that leverage, you often need about 30% down payment on a rental property here in the Netherlands and maybe a little lower in some other countries. So for a house that is worth 400,000, you don't need 40,000, but rather 120,000 in down payment in order to buy that house and rent it out. This down payment roadblock means that most people will never be able to buy a rental property and end up being that little boy in the story of an ordinary man, who of course never watched this video. But you are watching this video, so here is how you can buy a rental property with zero down payment. Now, I am going to assume that you already own a house that you live in yourself. If you don't, you should be instead watching one of my other videos for first-time home buyers. Alright, now that you own a house, there is a good chance that the price of your house has appreciated in last years, as house prices have been soaring, reaching all-time highs. In the United States, Netherlands, UK, and even in countries so cold as Sweden, where Santa wouldn't buy a house prices have been going up by 19% a year. Alright, you got the point. House prices around the world have been rising fast. Normally speaking, these rising house prices don't mean much to you as a homeowner, because even if you want to cash out and sell your house, you will have to buy another house in the same seller's market, for which you will end up paying a fortune. Unless of course you decide to go and live a full-time Mowgli or Tarzan life. What if you could enjoy the benefits of selling a house in this seller's market, but without actually selling your house? Let me explain. Let's say you bought your house for 325,000 a couple of years ago with 100% mortgage, which is possible in the Netherlands if it is for your own residential house. So your mortgage and the house prices were both 325,000 at the time of buying. In the last couple of years, you did your mortgage payments like a sincere person, and that has reduced your mortgage to say 300,000 today. While at the same time, the house prices went up by about 8 to 10% per year, and the current market value of your house has, let's say, gone up to 400,000. By the way, if you want to find out what is your house currently worth in the market, check out my other video. Alright, back to the example. Your house is now worth 400,000 in the market, whereas the mortgage is 300,000. The gap of 100,000 is your equity in the house, but it's a value that is trapped in bricks today. You can free it up by selling your house, but you can enjoy the same benefit by simply refinancing your mortgage. Some people refinance to reduce their interest rates, but what you can also do is to increase your mortgage to the current market value of the house, and that way free up that 100,000 equity. If you refinance your mortgage to increase it to the current market value of the house, the mortgage lender will give you 100,000 in cash, and that is, with the current historic low interest rates, almost free money. This is what I call benefits of selling a house without actually selling it. In the Netherlands, you can refinance your mortgage to increase it to the 100% of the current market value of your house. In some countries, you might be able to do it only to 80%, for example, in the United States. But either way, this 100,000 cash that you get, you can use it for home renovations, but that's not necessary. You can use it as you wish, and for example, towards a down payment for your first rental property. Let's say you want to buy a rental property of 300,000. You need 30% down payment of, let's say, 90,000. From that 100,000 now freeing up from your own house, you might be able to cover that down payment, but also costs of refinancing and closing costs on the rental property. Basically, you are paying a zero out of your pocket. This is how one can buy a rental property with no money or zero down payment and change your fate from the story of that of an ordinary man to that of a real estate investor. Before you start daydreaming, let's understand first the benefits, consequences, and risk mitigation strategies of refinancing to buy a rental property. And you can simply pay me by hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. The first benefit of cash out refinancing to buy a second house is, of course, buying a rental property with zero down payment. The second benefit is that you can start earning some extra passive income from rent. Let's say you can rent a property out for 1400 a month and your expenses of mortgage, maintenance and taxes are about 1000 a month. You are starting to earn 400 extra as a passive income. The third benefit is that this can become a good retirement plan. If you hold on to that rental property in 20 to 30 years, the mortgage will be paid off from the rental income. So your tenant will basically pay the mortgage for you. And after that, you can start enjoying a free cash flow. The fourth benefit comes from appreciation. If the property goes up in value, of course, that will increase your net wealth. And finally, leverage. Because your initial investment is zero, the return on investment from rental cash flows and appreciation is basically infinite. And that leverage comes at the lowest price you can imagine. Mortgage is probably the cheapest way to borrow money. With the historically low interest rates of well below less than 1.5% in the Netherlands, can you imagine of any other way to borrow 100,000 at such a low price? That is almost free money. Now let's look at consequences and risks that come with this refinancing to buy a second home strategy. Later we will also look at how you can concretely mitigate these risks. The first consequence you will see is that your monthly payments towards mortgage of your own house may or may not increase. Now, if you increase your mortgage, the principal payments of course will increase. But given that the interest rates in the market are currently low compared to what your original interest rate was, the reduced interest might compensate for the increased principal payments. For example, say your original interest rate was 2.5%. Your gross payment on that 325,000 mortgage, of which 300,000 is now left, will be about 1525 per month. If you increase your mortgage to 400,000 but your interest rate reduces to 1.4%, your monthly gross payment will be about 1575. So in this case, the increment is only 50 euros per month. In your case, it might be a little higher, say about 100 euro per month. So you have to have the financial capacity to be able to absorb that 100 euro extra per month. The second consequence is that your debt will increase. Your new debt will be 400,000 on your current house plus 210,000 on the rental house. The rental income will of course pay off the extra debt that you take on, but it's good to keep in mind that your debt will increase. There are also two risks to be aware of. These risks are actually not specific to this strategy, but they are in general of owning a house and a rental house. The first risk is that property prices may drop in future. Real estate prices go up on a long term, but in a short term they might fluctuate up and down. If you increase your mortgage today to 100% of the market value, there is of course a possibility that in few years the market value of the house might be lower. But that is always a risk even if you were to buy a house today. Let's say if you buy your first house today at 400,000, in few years it might be worth less than what it is today. The second risk is that of a vacancy in a rental property. It is possible that you may not be able to find a tenant for some time for your property. And in those months, while you don't get the rental income, you still have to pay your mortgage on that property. Again, this is a general risk for any rental property. There are 4 actions you can take to be able to mitigate the consequences and risks. The first one is to make sure that you have the financial capacity in case the mortgage payments increase, that you have a stable job and you are able to save enough. Talk to a mortgage advisor and they will let you know for free if you have the extra capacity that is needed or not. The second action you should take is to increase your emergency funds. You should have emergency funds even if you don't refinance or buy a rental property. Emergency funds are about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. So in the worst case, for example, if you lose your job, you can fall back on those emergency funds and be able to survive for a few months while you look for another job. When you refinance and buy a rental property, your debt and expenses increase. So you want to increase your emergency funds accordingly. So in the worst case, you don't fall back on your mortgage payments and don't have to sell the house if you don't want to. The third action to take is to get your numbers right. Make sure that the rental income will at least break even with the costs of mortgage, taxes, maintenance, and so on. And last but definitely not the least thing to do is to know what you're buying. Choose a good location for a rental property so that the chance of vacancy will be low. Choose a well-maintained property so that your maintenance cost will be low. And don't pay too much on cosmetics because that will reduce your net cash flows. Note that this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not a financial advice. If you like this video, then hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos on personal finance.